let me tell you a quick story, and then we'll take a few minutes to break down the setup that I have right behind me. So if you've been around the channel for a while, you know that I was working on a custom Spider-Man themed PC, an entire setup for my son's first PC because, well, he earned it. And yes, a 7-year-old earned a PC. How, you might ask? Well, I agreed to build him a PC if he could save up a whopping 100 Bryce dollars, currency that we give him for doing stuff like chores, getting good grades, as well as it was ultimately a teaching tool for him to learn about the value of money and how he was supposed to go out about in life and earn the things that mean most to him. Well, fast forward several months and I kind of failed him. He didn't get the system in September. He didn't get it in October or November or December, January, February, or even March. And it's not because I was too busy, even though I kind of always am busy. It was because I ruined the coding and needed to stand it down and redo it. I had an absolutely perfect finish. And then I said to myself, why not just do one more code just in case? Let's make sure we get it perfect, right? What could actually go wrong? Anyway, that build will eventually come, but it's still freezing outside. And until it isn't, this is his temporary, but still ultimate gaming PC setup. Let's start with the mouse. So I did a poll a few weeks back asking you guys which mouse you thought he would choose out of the Burst Pro, the Burst Core, the Basilisk X Hyperspeed, the G203, as well as the Viper Mini. There were 89 votes, so for any of you guys who voted, thank you so much. It's awesome to see so many people vote. And 36% of you guys chose or thought that he would choose the Razer Viper Mini. In fact, I too thought that he would choose the Razer Viper Mini. Why? Well, because it's a lot smaller than the other mice and it has really cool looking RGB. It's a great mouse, and to my surprise, the vast majority of us were actually wrong. He actually chose the Rocket Burst Pro, a mouse that only 6% of us voted for, but also a mouse that I didn't think he would choose because it's a little bit bigger than the Viper Mini. Now, the Burst Pro comes in with a price tag of just around $60, and it's one of my favorite mice currently on the market. It includes a solid lightweight cable, 2 sets of 100% PFTE mouse feet, has solid RGB, and the Titan optical switches are absolutely fire. They are the best optical switches I have ever tested. And some of you may be asking, why did he choose that mouse? Well, it's pretty simple. He's 7 years old. And what do 7-year-olds like? They like RGB. He liked the RGB on that mouse, and per his actual quote, he said wanted a colorful mouse. So he kept repeating to me, I want a colorful mouse. I want a colorful mouse. And that one was the most colorful for him. Obviously, he's totally hip with the times. So since he grabbed the Burst Pro, I figured why not reach out to my contacts over at Rocket to see if they would be interested in collaborating on this setup video. To my surprise, they were all for it, and they were nice enough to send over a matching keyboard and a matching mousepad. Yes, a matching RGB mousepad. Woo! Rocket, thank you so much for doing this. You'll see his reaction at the end of the video. All of you guys will see his reaction at the end of the video. But man, I can tell you right now, before you guys watch it, he was absolutely stoked to see his entire setup on Easter. The keyboard they sent over was the Rocket TKL Non-Pro. It's basically the mechanical switch version of the TKL Pro I reviewed a few months back, and honestly, it feels just as nice as the TKL Pro. I mean, the keyboards are basically identical minus the switches, and also the Non-Pro also comes with a rubber USB-C cable rather than a braided one. It's removable, so you can replace it if you want to, but again, it comes with rubber instead of like the braided one that comes with the TKL Pro. The typing experience is very similar, RGB looks great, and build quality is just as good as the Pro version 2. It also comes in at only $99 as of making this video in comparison to the TKL Pro's $160 price tag. Overall, both are great keyboards, but the TKL Non-Pro has some really solid value for those of you guys who don't care about the new Titan optical switches on board, even though they are pretty awesome. Underneath both the keyboard and the mouse is the Rocket Sense AMO XXL desk mat. Measured in at 900 by 400 millimeters, it has solid RGB that syncs with all other AMO devices, and it's very enjoyable to use. Now, it is a little bit pricey coming in at $60, but my son absolutely loved it. So it's obviously going to be a personal preference whether or not you want to spend that kind of money on a desk mat. I personally think it's a little gimmicky, but again, my son loved it, so again, it'll be personal preference overall. Moving on to the display, we have the HP Elite Display E223. It's a 21.5 inch 1080p 60 hertz IPS display with a 5 millisecond response time. Now, this was a gift from my wife's dad to my son for this setup, so it kind of makes it extra special to us. But overall, it looks really nice. It has solid viewing angles, and it is perfect for this setup. Now, there is one drawback that I want to mention here, and that's the price tag. It costs $199 brand new. For that much cash, you can get a solid 1080p 144 hertz panel, which is obviously better if you plan on playing some competitive FPS titles. I'll be sure to leave a link to a few of my recommendations down below for those of you guys who would rather have a 144 hertz panel. And to round up the setup, we have his PC. Now, I did a closer look into this PC a few weeks ago. I did end up swapping out the GTX 1660 Super featured in that video for my RTX 2060, but other than that, the build is pretty much the same. If you're interested in the full build video, which includes 1080p and 1440p benchmarks, I'll be leaving a link up in the cards as well as in the description box below. In any case, let me run you through the parts of his actual build really quickly just so you guys know what he's working with. So this build has the i5-10400F and RTX 2060 Founders Edition, 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance Pro RGB memory, and then it was all smashed into the $60 Montech X1 mid-tower case. The case has decent value overall, but honestly, after working with it, I'd rather see you guys go with something like the Fantex P300A for around the same price because I didn't really dig the Molex powered fans, and the building experience is just way smoother in something like the P300A. And so this is my son's first gaming PC setup. I do need to get him some speakers and I need to get him a headset, but overall, I think it's absolutely an incredible system for him. I mean, this is really overkill for what a 7-year-old is going to use it for. Roblox, Fortnite, Minecraft, you know, that's what he's gonna be playing. So it's absolutely overkill. It's gonna last him a very, very, very long time in my opinion, and I think it looks absolutely sweet as well. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments below, and don't forget, I'm streaming every single Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time, so come join me, ask your questions there, or whatever. Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Where are you, Daddy? What? No way. This can't be kidding me.
Happy Easter!
No way. No. What do you mean the Easter Bunny didn't come? I can't look at it.